Hi, everyone, and welcome to Monday Motivation with me, Dr. Guerra. This is part of the Gold Hoops and God podcast. Every Monday, I share a bit of motivation, advice, wisdom with you here on my channel. And I wanted to talk today about main character energy. So I'm actually going to start off with a little scripture. When I was preparing for this episode, I was thinking about this passage from Philippians. So I'll read the passage real quick. So Philippians chapter 4, verses 4 through 7. Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I will say rejoice. Let your gentleness be known to everyone. The Lord is near. Do not worry about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be known to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Jesus. So I wanted to share that because I feel like so many of us struggle with anxiety, depression, worry, like so much worry, so much nervousness about the future, about what's going to happen. And so I think this passage is very beautiful in terms of giving some peace and some peace of mind to us. So I really like that passage. So today I want to talk about main character energy. So this little phrase has been going around, especially, and I think it is really helpful. So main character, what does it mean to be a main character? And I was also thinking how in scripture, God calls people and they're not always willing and able, right? So we kind of see that too in terms of like God pushes us and encourages us to be the main character in our lives. So we think about the stories in scripture, there are main characters, right? Adam and Eve, there's Ruth, there is Queen Esther. There's so many people throughout scripture that we get to find out about their journey, and it's really powerful. So every human being is called to be a main character in their own life. And that is not selfish. So I feel like that is something that I need to mention right away, is that being the main character in your own life is not being selfish. It's not about being selfish. It's about prioritizing your own hopes and dreams, which is good. That's a healthy thing. So, number one, in terms of advice, I would say it's so important to take back your power. So, for many of us, if you're a recovering people pleaser, there's so many times in which society or culture will push us towards things that we actually don't want or that we're actually not interested in. And so, learning to say no is really critical. Learning to speak up for oneself. I think I've mentioned before about the throat chakra. And speaking of YouTube, there's so many resources on YouTube. There's tons of subliminals. I'm actually playing a Lucky Girl subliminal in the background right now. There's meditations, there's chakra healing, there's all kinds of things that will help you heal your chakras and especially your throat chakra. If you have a hard time speaking up for yourself, or defend, not I don't even know if I want to use the word defending yourself, but if needed, right? So that is something I would recommend. So take back your power, speak up for yourself, make your needs known, right? So make your needs known, speak up for yourself, say what you mean what you say, all that good stuff, right? Okay. And my second tip is, if it's not a hell yes, then it's a no. If it's not a hell yes, then it's a no. Okay. Have you ever been in a situation where somebody invites you to something, or they offer you something, there's an invitation, there's something, and your gut says your gut immediately reacts, right? Your intuition, however you want to call it, your intuition, your gut, there's something visceral that happens that's like, oh, I don't know if I want to go, right? I don't know if I want to go. I don't know if I want to see that group of people. I don't really think that's a good idea. Whatever it is, your body is telling you. Your body is warning you that something is going on, okay? So I highly recommend that you attune to that and that you listen to that nudge, your inner nudge. Listening to oneself, listening to your own inner voice and your own intuition is perhaps one of the biggest like lessons that we can have in life. Instead of the external validation, external guidance, listening from within is so important. That's been a big lesson for me, for sure. Because when I don't listen to my intuition, it doesn't go well. I have to listen to my intuition most of all. So, yes. So if it's not a hell yes, then it's a no. So, for example, I'll get a gut instinct about something. I'll get invited to an event or I'll get invited to do something. And my gut's like, no, something's off, right? Something about the people, something about the place, something is off. And then sure enough, I'll find out later that some stuff went down, there was weirdness, there was shadiness or whatever. So I was like, thank you, intuition. Thank you, intuition, for saving me and protecting me, right? So I would recommend that it's important to listen to one's inner voice and intuition. And then finally, honor your inner self, honor your inner child more specifically. So there's been a lot of talk about inner child healing, reparenting oneself, and that is so incredible. I highly recommend it. Reparenting is a really powerful thing to do because for many of us, our parents did the best they can, but there's so many things that they did not know, or they were not able to teach us, or they were just not equipped to teach us, right? And so as adults, we have the opportunity to reparent ourselves. And actually, I've heard a lot of my friends who have children, they've had their own children now, that it's such a beautiful exercise as a parent to remember childhood, to kind of relive those moments too, in the act of parenting their children. So it's kind of cool how that can happen. And in terms of the inner child, I actually last night, I felt like coloring. I felt like coloring. So I have some coloring books. I have a corgi coloring book that I felt drawn to. And I spent, just like 15, 20 minutes coloring. And it was lovely. And it really warmed my heart. I felt so good about it. I was very excited. It was awesome. So again, I mention the inner child a lot on my channel because I think it's so powerful. There's a lot of things that I don't feel that I had the opportunity to do. I feel like I was always around adults growing up. So there's a lot there that I've found it very healing. That's the word. Have found it very healing to delve into the inner child, the inner little girl. Look, I'm wearing Hello Kitty. I love it. No one can tell me nothing. It's great. So those are my 3 tips in terms of really tapping into that main character energy. It's so important to take back your power. If it's not a hell yes, it's a no. And then finally, take care of your inner child. Be there for your inner child, your inner niña, your inner niño. If I have any fellas listening to the podcast, which I hope so. So those are my tips, friends. I hope you're doing well. If you have found value in this content, which I hope you do, I hope you found my tips helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. It's so important you subscribe to my videos. That's how we can share this content further. I have so many people who are watching the videos, but they're not subscribed. So please, please, please take 2 seconds, hit that little bell button, make sure you subscribe to my channel. And these Monday motivation videos, the Mujeres Mondays, they come out on Mondays, of course. And then the main podcast is available on Wednesdays. So every Wednesday, the podcast episodes are going to be available wherever you stream your podcast. So that could be Spotify, Apple, iHeart, etc. And then the video interviews are available on Wednesdays on YouTube. So you can watch the interview if you like to do that. So again, thank you so much for being here, for listening. I really appreciate you. Please, please, please like, share, and subscribe and interact with me. I would love to hear from you. Tell me what you liked. Tell me what kind of content you'd like to hear. What topics do you want to hear about? Would you like me to go live? Let me know. I'm happy to do that. All right, my darlings, have a great Monday. Bye.